Angels, along with Mary McKenna, Denise McQuaid, and Breege Barnes, who's with us this evening, and Claire McGee, who couldn't make it, but Claire is the fourth of the co-founders, and also Marianne Pierce, who's our global diaspora ambassador, who will be dialing in from New York. We normally do this as our community event once a month on a Tuesday evening. The normal format is actually very much founder driven. So it's a founder telling their story, sharing their intelligence, their insights, and so on. But because we have so much happening in Awaken Hub at the moment, we thought it might be useful for us to do a little round robin event and share with you all the stuff that's happening and stuff that's coming down the track. So as I say, if they don't mind, if you could turn off your microphones for now, and then once I get through a little short deck, you'll be able to start chatting and stuff in session. So if you don't mind, I am going to share with you a deck, and it's going to take me about 10 or 12 minutes to get through it. It will be at pace, but I'll explain to you as I go how the session is going to work as well. So don't worry if you miss anything. There's plenty of opportunity in the breakout rooms for you to be able to ask questions or get any information that you might miss as I run through this. So for any of you who are completely new to Awaken Hub and Awaken Angels, Awaken Hub is a registered social enterprise. We're mission driven to remove barriers to investment, scale and success for women founders on an all island basis. Our social impact mission is to create equity in the founder ecosystem, irrespective of gender or where people are based. Awaken Angels, on the other hand, is a separate entity. It is our sister organisation, but they are two separate entities. It's the first and only island of Ireland women-led investment community built with women in mind. We say women-led in that the women are driving the bus, but we do have a number of male angels involved in our syndicate who are interested in investing and supporting women founders. Our mission with Awaken Angels is to democratize investment by making it accessible, affordable and educational, and opening it up to those with a desire to invest and support Irish-based women founders. So people can be part of the syndicate from pretty much anywhere around the world, but we only invest in women founders living on the island and with an entity on the island of Ireland. So this is a kind of scratching the surface snapshot of Awaken Hub and Awaken Angels over the last few years. Sorry, can I just ask people to put their microphones on mute if you don't mind, please? Thank you very much. We have about 3,000 subscribers to our Awaken Hub community. We have a private community space called Awaken Club, which is 350 plus members. I will explain more about that in a minute. We have an accelerator program for early stage founders called She Generate. That's more information coming on that. We have a number of new initiatives coming. I'll explain those in a minute. We have 30 big sisters who are handpicked entrepreneurs, innovators, company builders, investors who offer informal advice and guidance to women in our Awaken Club community. So if you're not a member of Awaken Club, I would strongly suggest, no matter what happens during the rest of the session, that you seriously consider becoming a member. We held our first annual All-Ireland Summit She Ventures in Lustybeg and Fermanagh this May. We hold an annual trade mission to the US. And from an Awaken Angels point of view, we have onboarded about 90 angels into our syndicate and made 2 investments and have 5 going through due diligence in the first year. So to explain how the session is going to work, at about 5:20, we are going to invite you into your breakout rooms. You can pick number 1, 2, or 3. I'll explain that in a second. We will come back then. We're going to do a little 10-minute chat with Sheila Brady from Kuru, one of our founders, who's just going to talk about her experience with us. And then we'll go into a second round of breakout rooms. And again, you can pick 1, 2, or 3. Hopefully by the time I do a very high level little overview on all of the following, you'll understand which ones might appeal to you. Don't worry, I'm going to share the slide again at the end, so you don't have to be overly conscious of which one you want to go into right now. But deal leaders and in angel investing masterclasses is for angels or prospective angels. The trade mission is for anybody interested in participating in our trade mission in February. Awaken Club and She Generate is for our private community platform and our early stage accelerator program. And then in the second round, if you are a step ahead and you're actively looking to fundraise and or interested in our Shield Scales program, which I'll describe in a second, you'll want to go into room 1 in the second breakout rooms at 5:50. And again, then you can hop between the Trade Mission or Awaken Club and SheGen if you couldn't get to one of those in the first round. So a little whistle-stop tour now of our various programs. SheGenerate is the first ever All-Ireland community, accelerator program for early stage women founders. It's open to any founders, including those with a social impact mission or social enterprises, but we are less inclined towards coaching type businesses. You do need to have a proof of concept, know your value proposition, and not be a serial accelerator, or as in if you've been on 10 accelerators before, then you shouldn't be applying to SheGenerate. We'd like to thank AIB for their support in SheGen 4, which is our incoming cohort for SheGenerate. The expressions of interest are open. Breed will share an expression of interest form link in the chat with you. You'll also find it on our website at awakenhub.com. In the coming days, between this time and early next week, we will share the full application form, which isn't a long application form, but we will ask you to upload a short video and give us some more information on you and your company, and they will be submitted by the 30th of September. One thing to note for anyone who knows about SheGen before, they were online. This time we are mixing it up, and it will be a hybrid program of online and in person. We'll share all those dates with you. And there is a nominal contribution of £140 requested should we offer you a space if you're not already a member of Awaken Club, to go towards our admin costs. But you do get the 12-month Awaken Club membership, which is the same amount of money, the £140. This is just a little snapshot of our SheGen to date. We've had 120 women through the program, a 91% satisfaction rating, 20 plus sectors, including everything from medtech to fashion and design and construction, ecotourism. And I do want to take a second to thank our previous SheGen partners, without whose support we wouldn't have been able to deliver the 3 cohorts to date. So thank you very much to all of those. So next up, we have some of our new programs. Our fundraising masterclasses. So this is those who probably be a step ahead of SheGen or at the far end of the SheGen type applicants, in that you're startup up and actively looking to raise investment. You want to prepare your fundraising pitch deck. You want to know how to target investors, build those relationships. How do you negotiate and structure your deals and understand things like due diligence? It will be a half-day workshop, so you'll get to spend that time as well with other people who are on the same page as you. After that, which is another level on in the journey, is a newly launched She Scales programme with the support of Intertrade Ireland, the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Shared Island Initiative. This is targeting 16 scaling companies with a woman founder or co-founder across the island of Ireland. It's also a hybrid programme with significant programme built out of tailored support between October 24 and April 2025. It will include also a 12-month Awaken Club membership post-programme delivery, which will kick in April next year. Expressions of interest for this opened this week. It's a 2-stage application process. Denise will explain this to you in the breakout room, but your second stage application process would have to be submitted by the 3rd of October. It does include a commitment fee of £1,000, which is a contribution towards the overall cost of the programme. And we have all the dates and everything set for that, so we can share that with you, and Denise can run through those with you in the breakout rooms. Next up, we have 2 initiatives which are targeting existing angel investors or new angels or new angel investors. Our Deal Leader training is an advanced course which will help angels to elevate your expertise in due diligence if you're looking to confidently lead on investment deals through 3 targeted modules. And the program will kick off in January, but the expression of interest form is live now through our website, and Breed will very kindly as well put that in the chat view, and Denise will talk you through those in the breakout room. And the second one is for people who are new to angel investing, who'd like to participate in a 90-minute masterclass, which will kind of get you up and running and help you to understand and manage a diverse, balanced investment portfolio if it's something that you've never kind of experienced before. So those 2 are for angels and our prospective angels. 3 more things left to touch on. We do an annual trade mission to the USA every year to coincide with St. Bridget's Day. This will be our third one. It'll be around the week of the 1st of February. We're going to Boston and New York. It's a unique opportunity for Awaken Club members to connect with high-profile diaspora businesses, prospective investors, potential board members and supporters of women founders aiming to gain traction in the USA. We will curate a number of exclusive events, pitching opportunities, brokered introductions tailored to your business needs, and expressions of interest that are open, but it is an Awaken Club membership benefit, as in you need to be a member of Awaken Club to ultimately be offered a space within that. Mary McKenna will be leading on the breakout rooms for those and can talk you through all of the ins and outs of that. It would be remiss of me not to mention Mary-Ann Pierce, who is our Global Diaspora Ambassador for AwakenHub and Awaken Angels based in New York, known as Fierce Pierce to anyone who's met her, and Jane McCooey, who is our Global Ambassador, our Ambassador for Awaken Angels, also based in New York, and they're very much involved in helping us deliver on our trade mission and supporting women founders across the year. One other thing I wanted to mention, if anybody's interested in deep tech, if you want to scan the QR code on the screen there, we are a partner in the Women Tech EU program. 160 startups will be selected have started. The first round has come and gone. The second round is open. There's €75,000 of equity-free funding and a personalised business development programme up for grabs. It is for companies in deep tech across the EU and associated countries, including the UK. We're not doing a drop-in on this. Any information sessions or any information that you need, you go directly to the Women Tech Europe.eu website, or as I say, scan the QR code there. And then the final thing that I wanted to talk to you about briefly was our Awaken Club, which, as I mentioned at the start, is our private community for women founders who should join. Anybody really who wants to be part of a peer community for shared intelligence and support. It's not a selling shop. We strongly advocate against that. It is a sacred space for women to support each other. You get access to complimentary tickets to our online community events once a month, which is this usual slot, plus other bespoke events that we organise in a closed environment for our Awaken Club members. You have access to our private platform with extra content and resources, things like first dibs on our trade mission, an executive group coaching series, which is currently open for members to apply for by the 20th of September. You can raise your profile through social media stuff that we can do with and for you. And I suppose the thing I would say to you is know us before you need us. So if you're looking to raise investment, you want to be part of our trade mission, some of our other initiatives, then join Awaken Club now. It's £140 for 12 months. And we very much advocate for wanting to know the women in our community before we put them forward to be considered for some of the programs like our trade mission and investment via the Awaken Angels Syndicate. So you'll be glad to hear that that's nearly brought me to the end. I told you I would remind you, once I'd kind of touched on all of those, about the breakout rooms. So hopefully there's at least two things for everybody who's here that's of interest to you. We're going to go into breakout rooms in just a minute. Round one will be for anybody who's an existing angel or is interested in becoming an angel investor. You're going to go into, if you want to, room one now with Denise McQuaid, and she'll talk you through those. If you're interested in the US trade mission, you're going to go to breakout room number 2 with Mary McKenna and Fierce Pierce. If you're interested in Awaken Club, our private community for women founders, and or She Generate, which is for early stage startups, you're going to come into room 3. Once we come back at about 20 to 6, we have 10 minutes with Sheila Brady from Kuru, who's going to have a chat with Denise about her founder journey and her experience with Awaken Hub and so on. And then at 5:50, we will go to the second set of breakout rooms. So if I could ask you please now to take a note of those. If you are looking to fundraise as a female founder, or you're in a scaling or looking to scale, then you'll probably want to go into room number 1 with Denise at 10 to 6 for She Scales and the fundraising masterclasses. And then if you couldn't go into either the Trade Mission or Awaken Club and She Gen, then you'll go to 2 or 3 for the second set of breakouts. So the last thing for me is just to say a huge thank you to all of our partners. As a social enterprise, this wouldn't be possible without their support. So we just wanted to acknowledge and thank them. So that's it for me. Hopefully it's given everybody something to hang their hat on. Breed, when you're ready, please, can you put up the options for the breakout rooms? So, and you should be able to, from on my screen, mid-sentence. So Anya, I'll send you a little note just to close that out with you. But welcome back, everybody. I think people are still starting to come back in. I'm actually going to hand over to Denise now for the next 10 minutes. And then Denise, when you're finished, we'll go back into the second set of breakout rooms. The first breakout room will be for scaling or looking to raise investment. The second one is if you didn't join the EU Trade Mission the last time. And the third one is if you want to and you didn't join Awaken Club and or She Gen. And then we'll come back in for the last couple of minutes just to wrap up, but we will finish at 6:15. So Denise, I'll hand over to you and Sheila. Thanks a million.
Okay, super. I forgot it was me that was up next. I was handing them back to you. I could have kept going there. So it's lovely to have so many lovely new faces with us, and obviously those that have been in the community a long time. But what we wanted to try and do in my conversation with Sheila tonight was just to give you a flavour of some of the touch points and some of the experience that Sheila has had on her journey with us, because she's dipped in and out of a lot of the offerings that are on tonight. So we just wanted to kind of give you a whistle-stop tour of Sheila's journey with us. And we've had some fun and some laughs along the way, Sheila and I, as we've been engaging through the process. So for those of you that don't know Sheila, she is based in Kildare. So we're not and she loves horse riding, not only scaling her business, but horse riding too. So welcome, Sheila. It's lovely to have you with us. Thank you for allowing me to have this quick chat with you this evening.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
Delighted. I've heard so many people do this, like over the time. It's kind of a year on from my membership, really. It's nice to be one of them.
In the hot seat. We'll have you back for a proper fireside chat in terms of the commercialization and everything that you're doing with your business at the moment. But in terms of your journey with Awaken Angels, our Awaken Hub, you say it's like 12 months in now. And as I've mentioned, you've touched many pieces of the jigsaw and many of the offerings from an Awaken Angels perspective. Can you just take us back? What motivated you to join us, and what has the journey been like so far?
I think I always probably start this with a negative, because I kind of was nearly pushed away because it was an all-females group. And I say that because I've turned full circle. So my background was I was very used to working in a male-dominated environment. I was very fortunate that I had a lot of good relationships from that and good experiences. So I was really comfortable in that, and I'm probably less comfortable in all-female groups. So I preface what I say with that, because I think I've gone 360 on it. So what I started hearing a lot of really good things about it, and then I saw a lot online about the first US trip. And I don't know, there was just something that intrigued me, and there was an event in AIB in Dublin, and I went to that. And what I loved about it straight away, and something that I always talk about Awaken Hub for it wasn't, okay, our business is tech, but it wasn't just tech group. I remember meeting women from Cork who are farming and their businesses. And I think it's Sophie from Windrush. I heard her speak about her business. And I just loved that it was a group of women that actually weren't just women, had really good businesses, had really put themselves forward. And I think it's something that we forget, that all this has, the first step is we're all vulnerable. And I just felt that it was a group of women that really wanted the best out of people. And I'm not always the quickest to go up to people, but something about Sinead, I went up, and I don't know if Sinead even remembers, but I introduced myself. And like I said, even then, 2 hours in, there was just something about the environment that I felt was conducive to me trying to get to know you a bit. And then I joined shortly after.
Yeah. And Sheila, on that journey, there's obviously been, you joined us having seen the first US trade mission run through. You joined us last January, February. You've pitched to the Awaken Angels community. You've joined Mary and I to speak at an event in Belfast. How have these experiences added value to your journey, and what are your kind of key takeaways, I suppose?
They were phenomenal, I think, from a professional perspective and a personal perspective. But I think professionally, it was definitely access to another network. You know, you think you have great networks, but you realize the black book that you opened, whether it was on the US trip or since then with the other events, you do so willingly. And I think it was Mary one day said, you know, we do this, but we want you to respect it and not take advantage of it. And I think that's equally all the members do that as well. They have their network. So I think professionally, the wide network and the access to advice and support, like I feel I get so much more from this group than I give. I've never, if I asked any of you for advice, if you couldn't give it, if there was somebody else that you knew that could. So I think that, but I think personally, it's given me the confidence to be around people I always knew I had a good idea. I always knew I had the expertise. I was less confident that I actually was the person to pull it off. And I think in the year with you, I've no doubt I am. And I can say that now, and I couldn't a year ago.
Amazing. We often talk, Sheila, about what you put in, you get out. And obviously that, you know, because obviously there is the community and all the members that have been on the journey with us for a long time have put a lot of effort into sharing advice from their and network and connections from their own network, sharing events that are happening to make everybody aware in the ecosystem. But it is about what you put in, you get out. Would you agree with that statement? And kind of what have your key takeaways been?
I definitely think you've created a group where at least I felt, as I say, I got more than I put in. But I think in a way, I'd like to think there's a longevity to that, that at different points when we evolve, I'll be able to give that back. Like I see Louise on the call, like she's just been phenomenal support. And I'd love to think as I get through the stages that I'll be able to. So I think at some point I'd like to say I've given back more, but at this point, I think I definitely get more. But the first step is you have to be open and you have to engage with you. So as I say, I think that's the hardest, was definitely the hardest hurdle for me. And to feel that when you were saying all these things that are available, that actually me and our business were suitable to apply for them or to put out those expressions of interest. So I would say if there's anybody on the call, their first step is actually the hardest because you're probably blocking yourself. But between the four of yourselves, Mary and Marianne and Kelly and Jane in the US, like there's doors that are open. So I would say I'd like to think that your group is very different. You do get more out of it at the start, but you have to take that first step.
Yeah, super. And Sheila, on the journey of your own development within your business, obviously you have joined us at many events and obviously come to the US and pitched at Awaken Angels and joined us at She Ventures and various events. The connections you've made through Awaken Angels or Awaken Hub, how has that influenced your strategy or opened up new opportunities for growth for you?
I think the first thing, it's made me a little bit more cautious, and I probably the wrong word to use, but you know, one of the nights in the US, and we were just sitting around the table talking, and Mary McKenna gave the advice: don't give away too much too easy. As in, if advisors want to advise, don't necessarily give them equity. Do you know? So it made me a little bit more protective of what we have. And I recognize that the people I've met through the network are equally as protective of our idea and our value and their value, you know. So, and it's not just investors, you know, sometimes we, especially when our businesses will need the investment, it's so easy to put all your energy into that. But I've met people that have actually opened doors into new sectors that Kauru could be applied in that I probably never would have thought of. Just as I say, connections to use cases or potential customers and trial partners. So I would say sometimes you come into these groups with a very narrow image of what you want. I realized that actually there was other areas that I probably wasn't open to seeing, that whether it's the dinner we went to, or whether it's the trip to New York or the coaching, I've just always felt that you were there right time. When I needed it, it was there. And then I have to also say the wider network. Like the trip to America does consolidate a group of friends after it, but I do think it's the network within the network that actually has been really supportive as well.
Yeah, super. Okay, last before we go to the next breakout room, if you could give the community tonight one piece of advice that you've gained that has, you know, that might benefit others or might continue to benefit you, that you've been exposed to through the community, what would it be?
I think to reach out and actually not let that be a barrier to the first step. I think it really is that there's somebody in this group, and you can see it on the website. I would actually, that's it. It's to use the networking website. Don't always wait for the events to happen. That actually, if you put up a message, somebody will reach out. And say we're only as wide as our own networks, and with a network like this, it's phenomenal how quick you can reach somebody. So I would say that's my bit of advice: is take the first step to join, and then when you get on this, actually use the networking through the website.
Yeah, super. Thank you, Sheila. Are you coming to New York and Boston with us again? Are you putting in an EOI on that one, or
I hope
can we
so,
tempt
but
you to come with us a second time?
if we talk too highly about it, there mightn't be spots. So yeah, I would love to, but we spoke with Jenna and I both went last year to scope it out, and I do think that is a wordy way of seeing if it is worth it. So fingers crossed.
Super. Super. Well, thank you. And I think I'll hand back over to Sinead, and we're going to go into the second set of breakouts.
Yeah, so Breed, if you don't mind, thank you very much putting up the breakout rooms again. So room number 1 for She Scales and or the fundraising masterclasses. So if you're looking to raise investment or scaling, room number 2 for the US Trade Mission, if you didn't get to join that the last time, and room number 3 for General Awaken Club, our private community, and or She Generates. So again, if you can just pick a room on the screen, if you people to come back in. Well done, folks, for sticking with that. That was a firecracker of a 70 minutes so far. I hope everybody got something from it, and it's lovely to see old faces, as in who've been with us for a long time, and some lovely new faces that we haven't met before. We hope it won't be the last time. If anybody has any specific question you want to ask in the group, now's the time to do it. We have about 3 or 4 minutes left. If not, we have our next event on, sorry, I should have had that ready. I'll check that there whilst anybody has any questions, you can just turn your mics off and ask them. Give me 2 ticks, please, while I just check that. In the middle of October, but I need to check the date. Any of our own team want to say anything, Denise or Mary?
No, it's been lovely to see so many new faces and
old faces.
And the old faces, those that have been with us a while. Obviously tonight, folks, was very much just to give you a flavor of some of the things we've been working on through the summer, obviously to enhance your experience with us and opportunities with us. Obviously we are repeating some things with some new flavors like She Generate and the Trade Mission, but we've obviously got a lot of new activity as well between She Scales, the fundraising masterclasses, D-Leader
we've
training
got
for angel investors.
A lovely new
it.
website with gorgeous
A lovely
photos
new
of you all
website.
on there. Anybody that was at She Ventures, get on that new website and try and spot yourself in some of those great pictures, because you'll be on there somewhere.
Yeah, they were fantastic.
And it is Awaken Angel's first birthday, folks. So give us a shout out on social media as well.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sheena. So it's the 22nd of October, same time, same place, same back channel. We'll see the non-members and some of our new members here, and hopefully have a bunch of you looking to join up and join us with Awaken Club. So any questions, just send an email to hello@awakenhub.com and one of us will get back to you. So thank you all very much. Have a lovely evening, and we hope to see you all very soon. Okay, thanks a million. Thank you. Well done, everybody. Thanks for all the lovely questions.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I love watching everybody just drop off, you know.
Mhm.
Louise, look at the colour of you.
I know, I'm like, hubba hubba.